Alright, good morning guys. So we've just checked out of the apartment hotel and yeah, we're ready to make our final leg of the journey to Bangkok. So before we leave, my dad decided, you know what, One Ho loves trains, so he thought, alright, let's bring him to see the Nong Khae railway station. The Nong Khae railway station is a class 3 railway station in Hua Hin that I'm pretty sure you can tell me too.
What is Nong Khae?
Yeah, I can tell there's a sign there. Despite Hua Hin also being known as a beach resort town with tons of sandy coves and everything, as you can see, throughout the trip so far, we actually haven't seen the Hua Hin beaches. And even though it's known as the Thai Riviera by the Thai government, we decided, I think, let's go check out Old Town Hua Hin, you know, where all the restaurants are. So this here is a very popular breakfast spot here in Hua Hin. This is Chek Piak. And as you can see, the crowds are pretty undeniably big. So let's go see why it's so popular. First dish here is some porridge. As you can see, we have some pork, we have some fried noodles, some ginger vegetables, and of course a whole egg, bullseye egg in the side there. Some pepper, of course. It's really nice. Second dish here is a bowl of pork noodles. As you can see in the noodles, we have some minced pork, the noodles, some bean sprouts, some fish cake, meatballs, some shrimp, squid, and I'm not sure what they call it here, but basically it's like a crispy sort of a flake that they put on the side. You can eat it with the noodles, it's very good. Second dish is about the same, but basically they put tom yum in it. So in addition to that, the tom yum soup, they also put a bit of peanuts. So next to the restaurant, there was this little stall. There were tons of people lining up, so we thought, alright, what are they selling? What are they selling? So as we looked further and we looked closer, it turned out to be a pretty delicious looking snack. So we bought some. So we also bought some of these from the store next door. It's basically a sort of coconut pancake. As you can see just now, they basically filled it with this mixture, this batter, and then they grilled it until it became a solid form. After that, they sprinkled corn and all sorts of things on top of it. So it looks pretty good. So again, before we leave, we have to check out Hua Hin railway station. It is considered one of the most beautiful in the country and also one of the oldest in the country, and it has a very unique style, as you will see right now. So this is a Hua Hin old railway station. As you can see, it's a wooden, red and white construction. It's not used anymore since it's an elevated one right behind here. It's a very pretty one. So here we are on the platform. As you can see, here's the old rail. And up there is what I think to be the high-speed rail station. It's still under construction. As you can see, it still follows the style of the old Hua Hin station with its wooden sort of red and white construction too. It's a very nice way to pay homage to what came before. So you can see, as it is, the old railway station is still here for what is basically for the normal passenger services, I assume. This original building was built in 1910 and rebuilt in 1926 by Prince Pura Chatra Jayakara to the current Victorian style that you see before you today. So the funny thing is, you see this building before you in 1967, basically the Minister of the State Railway of Thailand relocated this palace pavilion from Sanam Chandra Palace to Hua Hin, and it was renamed to the Phra Mongkut Klao Pavilion. So, as is today, it's one of the main attractions of this place. Because it's not ready yet, you can still hear the drills and the saws.
Very big, huh?
Yeah.
Train station.
So we've traveled a bit out of Hua Hin, so I think we're in Cham now. My dad decided that, you know, let's have some roast pork, so we're here at Muhan Nayok BBQ. So here we have our crispy, juicy pork, freshly roasted over the fire charcoals. Assam is famous for roast pork.
Yeah, roast pig. The whole road are roast pig.
I see. Wow. All right. So alongside that, we also have some like sweet sauce, and we also have some green chili on the side. We can use to dip it. Let's try out the piece.
Wow.
Okay, let's see one. I'll take this one, fatty meats. I think we'll dip in some of the sweet sauce or something. Just a little bit. So nice and juicy. Alright, so we're finished with our pork, and before we leave Hua Hin and Shaham for good, we'll stop by the famous beaches of Hua Hin before we leave for Bangkok. It's a very nice place here, and it's very much catered to tourists. There's shops on parasols and umbrellas and beach chairs all along the way. This entire coast is dedicated to just beach shorelines. There's a few statues of crabs over there, and you can see the horizon. It's a very, very beautiful beach. So after saying goodbye to Hua Hin, we continued on our journey to Bangkok. But we have one more stop before we get to there. We're heading to Samut Songkram. Samut Songkram is basically a small province just southwest of Bangkok, like off to the side a bit. And basically, the city is mostly known for the fact that it's next to the Maeklong River. So yeah, we're going to one of the more popular attractions of this town. So let's go and check it out. So after a bit of driving, we have passing fields and temples and all sorts of roadside attractions. The mighty Maeklong River finally revealed itself to us. As we crossed it, we watched all the boats and the livelihoods of the people living around it unfold before us. So another popular attraction here in Samut Songkram actually is the Maeklong Railway, but specifically the part of the Maeklong Railway that passes through the Maeklong Railway Market, aka Talat Romhup, which also means the Umbrella Podunk Market. So inside the famous train market here, you have tons of stalls selling different food, clothes, produce, and of course right down the middle is the famous train tracks, and every once in a while you'll see a train coming through. Hopefully we get to see one today. Now, the thing about this market is that while it's just a common fresh market selling seafood, vegetables, fruits, fresh and dried food, meats and other goods, the really crazy part is that, as I mentioned before, the train tracks that run right through the market. And at some point while walking through the market, we were swept to the side because the train was coming through. As you can see, the announcement has come on, which means a train is coming through. So stall owners are trying to bring in their awnings and moving in their products to the inner lane so they don't get too close to the tracks. So sitting at the corner to the side, we watch as all the tourists file out of the market, determined to get off the train tracks to get a nice picture of the train itself as it passes by. And while that happens, we also watch the locals folding in their canopies, their verandas, their covers. And with the final announcement announcing the train coming through, all the locals finally folded up their tents, and with the wave of a flag, the guard signals the train to depart the station. And with the blast of the horn, the train starts rolling out of the Maeklong railway station.
Jedzie pociąg przez rynek teraz.
much like clockwork and much like a zipper, as the train went past, all the awnings and verandas started unfolding once again, and business would continue as usual in the market. And with that over with, we continued all the way to the end of the market, where the Maeklong railway station actually was. My dad sadly wasn't able to come with me and my mom because, well, there was no parking spots, so I had to drive the car around. So Dad, if you are watching this, I hope you enjoyed the footage I took in the Maeklong railway market.
So you went and saw lah, huh?
Yeah, we saw it pass by.
So as we drove along, we eventually started driving through the Salt Road, which is the name given to the road that goes right through the Samut Songkram salt farms. Basically, they're big evaporating ponds where I believe salt water comes into these little pits, and at some point they will dry up, leaving the salt behind. And while not exactly apparent here, later on in the year perhaps, there'll be huge pyramids of salt that will be accumulated from these salt evaporation ponds.
Yeah, lah, you think it's there.
Salt,
Very cheap.
salt,
Cheap pack was.
so much salt, salt lake, salt, salted fish, salt lake, salt bag, salt fish, petrol station. Now, the Samut Songkram province is not actually that far from Bangkok, so at some point we actually arrive in Bangkok. So yeah, and Bangkok greets us too, with its notoriously heavy traffic. So yeah. Alright, we've been stuck in a jam for a while, but we finally made it to Thonburi market. So Thonburi market is a huge market, at least 3-4 buildings, and it's a huge wet market. So let's go check it out. So Talat Thonburi, or Thonburi Market, also known as Sanam Luang Song, is a market in Thonburi. It's biggest actually, and it's crazy. It's really big. They sell all sorts of things. And I'm checking this list right here in the editing, and it says it sells plants, antiques, second-hand goods, pets, food and drinks, fresh and dry food, fashion, clothing, ceramics, amulets, furniture, the list goes on. It's a really long list. But the point is that during this video, I did not actually see some of these things, which means that there are some parts I was unable to explore during this visit, which is crazy. It's a huge market. It's not just a wet market now though, there's a bunch of other sections. Like for instance, this one sells, I think, cooking materials, something like pots, pans, oils, sauces. So yeah, this is the dry market section, I suppose. As mentioned previously, Thonburi market is full of different buildings with different sections selling different things. So here we are going across to a different building. So it appears that this section is selling food, mainly food and only food, I think. As from what I can tell, there's a bunch of different stalls selling not only Thai food but different assortments of international food such as Japanese, Chinese, never know. So we are back into another building. As you can see, on one side we have fruits and vegetables and all sorts of different kinds of produce, and to my left we have all sorts of meats, mainly land animals, of course. Seafood's another section. This is chicken, beef, pork, you know, all that. They're playing Chinese songs. So we decided to settle down because it's lunchtime. So the first thing that we decided to have a bite of is seafood. You know, a lot of people love this stuff. So here's some crabs, some clams, some mussels, lobsters. There's a lot of stuff. So let's see what we have ordered. So after we returned to the seafood section of the wet market, we have picked our lunch for today. So here we have a bunch of seafood. This is? Oysters. Okay, so we have a bowl of oysters. And we have a plate of grilled prawns. And then next up we have a tray of, I think this is scallops, cheese scallops, yeah. You can see it's also been grilled slightly. Wow. Of course, since we're already here, we did not want to pass an opportunity to fill as much stuff in our stomachs as possible before we leave. So we headed over to the section where, from earlier, that was just food. So we could get a few more plates of yummy stuff. So we've gone to another section of the Thonburi market. So here we have ordered another 2 sets of dishes. This is our basil chicken with egg and rice. This one has chili. The other one over there does not. And I bet it's going to be very nice. Very delicious looking. Wow. Alright, so after lunch we decided to go and check into our hotel. So we are here at the Naga residence, and yeah, let's go check out our room. Hello. Hi. Okay, so this is a hotel room. So when you go in here, you obviously are greeted by our comfortable beds. Then on this side we have our television, safe box. Over there we have the fridge. And over there in that corner is the kitchen with a sink, kettle, wherever you need to make some tea or something. Yeah, it's a pretty nice hotel room. Alright, if there's one thing I've learned from my few years in making these vlogs, it's that I tend to overdo them sometimes. I remember when my old videos used to extend to 30-40 minutes long, and I have no idea how I managed that. But I learned my lesson, and yeah, I promise I'll upload the second part soon. I'm sorry for ending it so abruptly, but I'll see you soon.